Hi everyone, welcome to the Internet Storyteller, where I share the latest, greatest, and sometimes the most horrific stories of the internet. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much. So our very first story today is, I guess a Switch is a toy for kids, and a link to the story will be in the description below. So I spent the most recent weekend at my girlfriend's place. Nice weekend, yada yada yada. Unfortunately, I don't drive, so I had to take the bus back into the center of my city, and then another over to mine. No biggie, I make this trip all the time. It's about 1 hour 20 minutes, but I typically pass the time on my phone playing Candy Crush or reading Reddit. Over Christmas, I decided to buy a Nintendo Switch. Lovely console, you know the rest. While at my girlfriend's, we played some Mario Kart and some snipper clips. Her sister also has a Switch, so I asked if I could use the charging dock to play on their flat screen. All was good. We played on the TV. I was sitting on the bus on my way home, first bus of the journey. I had a bit of an oh no moment when I wondered if I'd picked up the right Switch. I figured I'd just check if it was my account logged in, and if I was right, I'd close it back down. Lo and behold, it's my Switch. I figured that this mini freakout was the end of my stresses. Enter entitled mom. I'm sitting there, and I decide to play some Bomberman to pass the next 20 minutes of my trip. Entitled mom is getting on the bus at this point. It's a fairly empty bus, but they sit just behind me. As she passes, her kids light up like a freaking Christmas tree when she sees my Switch. I was just proud I had a cool thing and went back to playing. A few minutes later, I hear the conversation behind me. "Mommy, I want to play. That man has a Nintendo. Let me play." I'm lightly tapped on the shoulder, and entitled mom fairly politely says, "Would it be okay if my daughter plays on your toy?" At this point, I'm a little wrapped up in the game, and I know I'm getting off soon, so I simply say, "Sorry, but I'm jumping off the bus soon, so not today, maybe next time." She huffs and proceeded to tell her daughter, "The greedy man won't share with you, sweetie. He's too selfish to share with you." To nobody's surprise, the brat starts bawling like a newborn. Mind you, this child is 9 or 10 years old. I figured she must be a problem child to be acting out like this, so I keep playing. About a minute or so passes until I feel kicking on the back of my chair. I figure it's the brat throwing a tantrum. I look over and turns out entitled mom is sitting behind me. Slightly confused, I carry on. Not 30 seconds passes before I feel it again. I whip my head around, and guess what? Entitled mom has her feet pressed against my chair. I thought about confronting her, but it didn't exactly look comfortable the way she was scrunched up trying to kick me. So I thought, whatever. She can kick me all she wants. I'm getting off soon. I get off the bus and head over to my next stop. All's fine. I get on, pick a seat, and crack on with the Switch. What do you know? Entitled mom and entitled kid are on this bus too. The stupid kid eyes up my Switch and shouts loudly, "It's him again, mommy! Nintendo!" No surprise, they sit behind me again. I think to myself that this time I'll just ignore the kicking. For about 5 minutes, the bloody child whines to her mom that she wants a Nintendo. I feel a slightly more aggressive knock on my shoulder again. "Remember me?" exclaims entitled mom. I'm not the most patient person, so I say, "Oh yeah, you're the fully grown adult who kept kicking me on the last bus." I grunt. She is followed up by, "You've had your fun now. It's time for entitled kid to play." I say in the nicest way I can, "It's mine. Sorry, your daughter will have to get her own." Wrong move. The horrible lady starts telling me the normal stuff. I'm a grown man. I shouldn't play with toys. I'm upsetting her daughter. I'm a horrible person. I asked her, "Is this usually how you persuade people to cooperate? By insulting and harassing them?" She declines and starts rustling around. I decide, screw this, and move further back and put the switch back in my rucksack. Like clockwork, the kid is crying again. The mom is loudly exclaiming how horrible and selfish I am. The kid screams, "I want it!" Entitled mom wanders back and comes over to me. She shoves a $20 bill in my face. "Take it, my daughter wants it." I just laugh. I tell the woman that I bought it for $350, and unless she had that handy, I wasn't parting ways with it. She says, "It's $10 now. Take it before I call the police." I'm pretty confused at this point, so I grab my phone and start recording. She continues with no acknowledgement of my phone. "I'll tell them you raped me, or you'll give me the Nintendo." I'll admit, I'm a bit stunned. I look out the window and make a quick judgment. I'm about 30 minutes walk away from my house. I say, "Look, ma'am, there's a lot of Nintendos out there. Are you sure your daughter wants this one?" She looks a little confused. I tell her I'll check with her daughter if this is the one she wants. I grab the $20 and take myself over to her daughter. She's kind of just stood there, flabbergasting. I think she genuinely thought she hustled me. I go and sit by the entitled kid. I start talking about Mario, seeing if that was what she wanted. I'm hoping that someone stops the bus soon. Ding! The bell goes. The stop is coming. I wander back to the mother, who has a sly grin, saying to her, "I think we have a deal. I just wanted to make sure your entitled kid wants this." She just says, "Hurry up, nerd," to which I reply, "Then hurry I shall." In perfect timing, the bus stops. I slowly walk over to the child and whisper, "Sorry, loser," into her ear before running off the bus. I run like I've never ran down the road and watch as the bus leaves. I then ran home, locked and chained the door, feeling my heart race so fast, but feeling so smug. So that was our very first story. I hope you enjoyed it. Our second story is entitled "Kill My Dog Now." And once again, a link to the story will be in the description below. Okay, so since people liked the last story I posted from the animal shelter, I figured I'd post more. We deal with a lot of terrible people, so I've got access to a never-ending supply of stories of entitled, horrible people. This one was a real winner as well. Now see, we are a county-run animal shelter, and what a lot of people don't seem to get is that an animal shelter is not a free vet clinic. We are not licensed to do any medical treatment on animals that do not belong to the county. In fact, our on-staff vet could lose their license if they did not give medical treatment or even advice towards an animal not considered property of the county. Because of this, we get a lot of tantrum throwing from people who assume that we are a free vet clinic. Now, in walks entitled mom, along with her entitled brat. She storms into the front office dragging a kid looking to be no older than 10 in one arm and yanking a leash attached to what looks like a Jack Russell Terrier who looks terrified. She lets go of the kid and gives the dog leash to the kid to hold, please remember this, before storming to the counter. I say, "What can I do for you?" Entitled mom says, "Yeah, I need my dog put to sleep and I'm in a hurry." I say, what? We don't do that here. You need to take your dog to your vet." Entitled mom says, "You're a kill shelter, right? Just effing do it. I don't have time for this." I say, "What the heck are you trying to euthanize your dog for?" Entitled mom says, "It's old. Do I have to spell it out for you?" I say, "Just because it's old doesn't mean it needs to be euthanized." Entitled mom says, "It's aggressive and attacked my kid. There, are you effing happy?" I say, "You mean the kid you have holding the dog's leash right now?" She looks back and realizes that she messed up, and I caught her in a lie and called her out on it. Now she's even more pissed. Entitled mom says, "Just effing do what I'm asking you to do." I say, "No." Entitled mom says, "Excuse you?" I say, "No, do I need to spell it out for you? We are not a vet clinic. We don't offer that service here. If your dog is so aggressive and needs to be put down, take him to your vet. We know and work with about every vet clinic in the county, and none of them will just put a perfectly healthy, non-aggressive dog to sleep. And I know this. She doesn't. She is 100% in the wrong here, but she doesn't even know it." Entitled mom says, "I don't have time or money to take him to a vet. I'm a single mom and I need to get to work." I say, "I don't care what your reasons are. I'm not violating the law and risking our license because you can't manage your time or money. You want to get rid of the dog? You can surrender it to the county." Entitled mom says, "Fine, take the effing dog then." I say, "No problem. I need your license." Entitled mom digs through her purse and finally manages to find it and throws it at me. Entitled mom says, "Now hurry the F up." I say, "And how are you paying the $20 surrender fee, cash or credit?" Entitled mom says, I'm not paying anything. Weren't you listening? I don't have time or money." She literally does the clap between each word, and I can't help myself. I just laugh in her face. I say, "Your financial problems are not my concern." Yup, I did it back to her. I know I'm being a dick here, but I don't have a filter when it comes to people treating their animals like garbage. Oh, and surprise, surprise, she also managed to find a $20 bill in her wallet, in her purse. Imagine that. She also throws that at me as well. Now, at this point, she is just fuming. I take my time processing the paperwork and putting the dog in the system so I can do its initial medical exam later. Yeah, I do that too. Once everything is done, I get one of the newer staff members to take the dog from her and put it in a temporary kennel with some food and water so I can get to it later. It's during this point I hear the entitled brat talking to the entitled mom. Entitled brat says, "Mommy, when can we get another dog?" Entitled mom says, "Shh, I said soon." Entitled brat says, "Can we get a kitty too?" Entitled mom, "Shh, only if you're good." Oh no. All I can hear in my head is Gunnery Sergeant Hartman screaming, "I got your name, I got your butt," which I did. Her first name and address, all right here in her driver's license she gave to me. I put her in the system, mark her, "Do not adopt to," and proceed to mess her out of being able to adopt any animal in the state. After I finish and the staff takes the dog back, she walks back up the counter where I toss her ID back at her. Entitled mom says, "We would like to see your adoptable dogs." I say, "No." Entitled mom says, "Excuse me?" I say, "Let me spell it out for you. You just walked into a government facility in charge of the care and treatment of stray and abandoned animals, demanding we kill your dog. Then lied to me about the reason behind wanting the dog euthanized. Then lied to me about not having money to pay the fee. Then sat down and told your child you were going to get them a new dog and possibly a kitten as well. You're on a do not adopt list now. That means you can't get anything in this state, out of possibly a goldfish from PetSmart. Got it?" Cue the meltdown. She goes into a mess of incoherent screeching of cuss words, open threats to stab me or to get her husband to shoot the place up. Single mom, remember? And just melts down until I tell her she can either get out or I can have the sheriff down here dragging her out in front of her kid. She storms over to one of our displays that holds clipboards to fill out various things and pulls it down. I say, "Yeah, you can clean that up before you leave." Entitled mom says, "F you, I'm not cleaning that up." I say, I got your name, address, and driver's license number right here, and I can call the sheriff right now and report that you threatened to stab me and have your husband shoot the place up. By the way, you said you were a single mom earlier, so where's your husband at?" Now, I know I'm being a jerk, but I'm the shelter's jerk, and I love my job and I love my animals, and I also watch her make her kid clean up her own mess when she yelled at the kid to hurry the F up before grabbing the kid and running after they did a half-butt job of cleaning up. I did the medical exam on the dog a little later when our normal counter lady came back from her break. The dog wasn't old. At most, it was about 6 or 7 tops. Really friendly little guy too, but you had to move slow with him because he'd flinch instantly if you moved too fast. He stayed with us a few weeks until a little old lady fell in love with him. He is now a fat couch dog, and we still get pictures sent to us by the lady. The end. Okay, and now the third story we have is called "You're a Capable Young Man, so I can grab whatever I want from your shopping cart." And once again, a link to the story will be in the description below. If you've enjoyed these stories, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Details. I'm 17 and live in the UK. This happened around December of last year. It happened in the grocery store, to be exact. Now, this is going to be a very long read, so be prepared. My mom asked me to go grocery shopping because she was quite busy with something, and I agreed, so I went to the grocery store. I spent about 10 minutes looking for things on the shopping list. I decided to get a treat for myself, because why not? And so I got some Fin Carré chocolate. Now, this chocolate wasn't sold until recently at this location. I finally finished finding everything and made my way to the till. I was standing in line while using my phone, just minding my business until this overly loud parent with their very hyperactive kid who looked around 8 came behind me in the line. Entitled Mom says, "You wouldn't mind letting us go in front of you, would you?" I looked down at her cart, which seemed to be a lot more full than mine, and I decided I'm not in a rush, so why not? And I replied, "Sure," and subtly smiled. She thanked me and went on to go in front of me. My impression of this woman seemed normal until this happened. The entitled kid said as he was pointing to my cart, "Mom, look, it's that chocolate you promised to buy next time we go shopping." Entitled Mom says, "Oh yes, darling, I just remembered." The entitled mom looked up to me and said, "May I grab the chocolate bar? The little one's been eager to get it." Now, this chocolate is somewhat far from the tills in this location, as I mentioned earlier, and isn't sold at the tills either. So getting a new chocolate bar for myself would have been a chore. I replied, "I'm sorry, I don't think I can give you the chocolate. It's quite far from the tills." Her smile quickly turned into a death stare, and she said in a loud voice, "Right, I don't care how far this chocolate is from here. Now someone like you is more than capable of getting a new bar, so stop making George cross." I replied, "I don't care how capable I am. I'm not going anywhere, and this chocolate is staying in the cart." Now there was a lot going through my head at this point, but I remember how the entitled kid was reaching inside my cart, trying to grab the chocolate, so I quickly grabbed it myself and held it in my hand. Entitled kid says, "Mom, the guy took the chocolate." Entitled mom says, "Right, I've had enough." The entitled mom reached to my hand to grab the chocolate, but I moved in time and decided to go directly to the cashier and ask him to call a manager. Now the cashier seemed to have witnessed everything, so he informed the manager about what happened. No more than 2 minutes of me awkwardly standing, and the manager arrives. She walks up to the entitled mom and asks her to leave, and the entitled mom kept trying to incriminate me somehow until she finally paid for her groceries and left. Me, the cashier, and the manager all had a laugh about it after she left. Now that I think about it, that scene wasn't worth a chocolate bar, but oh well. The end. Okay, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed these stories from Entitled Parents subreddit. And as I said before, there's a link to the stories in the description below. If you like these stories, please feel free to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. I'm the Internet Storyteller. Bye.